Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Pieces of Me today, the podcast. So today what I'm going to talk about is accountability. What I titled this is 5 ways to know that you're practicing accountability, and that's for yourself and for those around you. Something that we don't talk about today is accountability. Everyone wants to play victim. No one wants to take responsibility. It's someone's fault but not mine is the kind of attitude that most people have today in society. So what I did in my brainstorming and my note taking is I jotted down a few ways that you can, for you to know that you're holding yourself accountable and you're holding others accountable. So the first way is you set boundaries and you don't feel any type of way about setting those boundaries. So a lot of times people make you feel bad for setting boundaries, especially your family members or your friends, because who wants to be told no? And that's basically what a boundary is. A boundary is a way to tell someone no to some that they can't have access to something. So whether it's time or, I don't know, money or whatever it is, a boundary is a way of telling someone no. And who wants to hear no? But I say hold yourself accountable, hold other people accountable for the boundaries that you set, and say no. And let your no mean no, and your yes mean yes. Set boundaries and don't care how anyone feels about them, because at the end of the day, people are going to set their boundaries, and they're definitely not going to relax them for your dislike of them. So don't feel any type of way. Set them boundaries. Skirt. Boop, boop. Say no. TC. But seriously, set boundaries and don't feel any type of way about it. Learn to tell people no. You know what I'm saying? A little more on that. This is something that I had to learn how to do. I'm really terrible at telling people no, especially people that I care for. So the greatest example of this is my family. I almost never tell them no, especially, my siblings and my parents. It's really hard for me to tell them no, just for the simple fact that I don't like being told no. But I had to learn that no is very necessary, because if you never say no, then people definitely start to take advantage of you, and that's when you begin to not feel so great about not being able to say no. So, no. No, 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 no. Don't feel bad about saying no to people. I know I've learned to not feel bad. If I don't like the way you're talking to me, if I feel like you being disrespectful, if I feel like you're not respecting my time or who I am, my presence, whatever it is, no access to me, no access to my time, no access to my presence, my space, nothing. And it's that serious for me, because when other people don't want to be bothered, or they want to ignore you, or whatever it is, they're very good at doing it. And something that I hate being ignored. And that's just something that I know about myself. We all have our things about ourselves, and that's something I know about me. Don't like being ignored. And I don't ignore other people, but if I don't want to be bothered with you, I'll tell you. Listen, I need some space. I need you to back up. Let me talk to you in a few days after I process this information. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel bad about that anymore, because at the minimum, I'm being honest with you. So number 2, apologize when you're wrong and be sincere about it. A lot of people just say sorry just because they feel like that's what you want to hear. So oftentimes when people know that they're wrong, they just say sorry because they feel like if they say sorry, you'll be done with it. And a lot of times, especially women, we accept that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can cheat, someone can lie, we can catch them, and we know that they're lying. And all they have to do is say sorry, kiss, hug, make up, whatever, and it's okay. But that's not holding them accountable. You know what I'm saying? We have to reprimand, more or less, people when they do something wrong to us. And even for ourselves, when we do something wrong, we have to apologize and be sincere in our apology. And how do you know someone's being sincere? when someone apologizes to you and they're being sincere, they're going to tell you what they're sorry for. It's not just going to be, oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be like, listen, I'm sorry. I crossed the line. I didn't mean it when I said X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? I was hurt. I was just trying to hurt you. But I apologize for that. That's an apology. Not, I'm sorry, but. Like, any apology that has the word but in it is not an apology. Do not accept it. And don't be the person that gives that type of apology, because it's not sincere. And it's not holding yourself accountable. And if you're going to tell others to be accountable, you want to be accountable yourself. I know for me, I'm really big on it. If I do something and I'm wrong, I'm going to apologize. Now, if I do something and I don't think I'm wrong, you can bet your last dollar Tina is not saying sorry. Not even sorry. Not even the fake sorry. I literally cried as a child if my mom tried to make me apologize to people in situations where I didn't feel like I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? As a child, that seems so... But I literally would burst into tears if my mom tried to make me apologize to an adult who I feel like I didn't do any wrong to. So, listen. If I say sorry, it's because I think I did something wrong. So you ain't got to worry about that. But more importantly, like, I just like to apologize because I like holding myself accountable for stuff. And I like holding other people accountable for stuff. So if I'm going to say, listen, when you do X, Y, Z, I need you to be aware of your behavior. Then I myself need to be aware of my own behavior. You know, how what I say make people feel. How the tone. Just recently, as a matter of fact, roll my eyes. Anyways, recently, you know, just with my friends, and for some reason, I was being a little irritable, and so my tone was a little more abrasive than I wanted it to be. And then, you know, after hearing it from, like, her, it's like, oh, I ain't really try to, you know. But then it's like, it's too late. So it's now we both got attitude, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I realized I was wrong. And so, and then what comes next is an apology. You know, I'm sorry for being abrasive or aggressive. Or whatever other word you would like to use to say that my tone was too harsh. So, I'm just saying. But in the same breath, when my friends do things to me, I like to be like, listen, sis, I don't know, that wasn't called for. You ain't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Apologize and be sincere. Number 3. So, don't repeat bad behavior. So after you apologize, right? So after the fact, don't repeat the bad behavior that you apologize for, because then that null and voids the apology. What did you apologize for if you were going to just do the same thing over again? So same, like, you know, again with cheating. Like, if you're going to cheat on me again, why you apologize? For what? That ain't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, again, hold people accountable. And like the old saying say, somebody show you who they are the first time, believe them. So, I mean, I'm not going to give people too much opportunity to do the same thing over and over again to me. I mean, unless we've been friends for like 10 years. But, I mean, that's time I put in and invested into a relationship, a friendship. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to let it go as easily. But now when I meet people, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Ain't gonna be a third time. So, you know what I'm saying? Just after the apology, don't repeat the behavior. Like, for what? You know what I'm saying? And the person who's accepting the apology after the repeated bad behavior, you crazy. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if someone is behaving the same way, then clearly nothing is going to change. And I'm not trying to, you know, come at people all crazy. That's not the objective at all. But I don't think we realize sometimes the things that we do, say, accept, the way we behave, because it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? If my friend is with a guy and this guy's cheating on her and she want to keep telling me, oh, girl, I'm going to leave him and I'm going to leave him. At some point in time, I don't want to hear the conversation no more because you just giving me a problem without a solution. And clearly, if you're accepting it and you know, then you don't want to do better. Because if you know better, you do better. Simple math. Right? Number 4. So, aside from setting your own boundaries, respect other people's boundaries. So, a friend of mine recently, he actually taught me this, like, the best. I'll just say his initials, FH. But anyways, something that he taught me just about myself and about people is that you gotta respect people's boundaries. So if someone say, hey, I don't want to talk right now, don't press the issue, just let's talk later. It's simple. And for a person like me, it's hard because I love to over communicate things. I love to talk. My friends can tell you I can talk all day. But no, seriously, like, that was hard for me it was a hard lesson for me to learn because I'm so used to always getting my point across. So when people are like, I don't want to talk right now, that's hard for me to accept. And I don't know if any of y'all out there, same way, but once I grasped the concept of respecting people's boundaries, his, pretty much, but once I grasped that concept, it was so much easier for us to be friends. It was so much easier for us to have a relationship. It was so much easier for us to communicate because I learned how to respect his boundaries. And learning how to respect his boundaries, he grew a type of respect for me, you know what I'm saying, that allowed him to be a little bit more open with me. So, you know what I'm saying, instead of me always feeling like, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, once in a while, he'd be like, Tina, what you got going on? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, it felt better communicating when we did talk. So, I mean, as far as my friends, I mean, I kind of obliterate all their boundaries. But don't be like me. I'm just saying. You know, it's a little bit more difficult because they're my friends. And in most friendships, boundaries aren't necessarily respected. But I want to tell you that you should respect your friends' boundaries. I don't care if you've been friends for a day or 10 years. Respect your friends' boundaries. My best friend of 14 years, she actually, you know, does this to me. But when she's having like a mental health day, when she's having a mental health day, she'll tell me, she'll be like, hey, you know, I'm not ignoring you. I just need space right now to process what I'm going through. I'll get back to you when I'm done processing. I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I don't, oh, well, what's wrong? And just for the simple fact that I've learned that if you take that approach to things, that people shut down, like, completely. They do the opposite of what you want them to do. You want them to talk. And when you press the issue, you make them do the opposite, which is shut down. And you don't want that. So you always want your friends, your family, strangers, whoever you come into contact with, you want people to feel like you respect what they have going on. You respect their space, you respect their time, you respect their boundaries. So if someone says, you know, I ain't lending you $50, I don't care if y'all are friends or not, respect the boundary. I know for me, I don't lend people money just for the simple fact that I've been burnt so many times with money. I'm not giving anyone outside of my parents more than $50. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Sequoia. But I mean, we've known each other since we were like 11. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, seriously though, I've had so many bad experiences with money and friends that I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that I don't even like to deal with. Like if I'm gonna spend money on my friends, I'm gonna know that it's money that's gone. So that way there's no problem. Because money is definitely something that will make you realize how people actually are. So I actually don't like borrowing money either. That's a problem. And I don't like lending money. So it's not a one-way street. I don't not only like lending, but I don't like borrowing. There's probably 2 or 3 people I may ask for money if I need it. And those 3 people know who they are. So, I'm just saying. Respect other people's boundaries. Don't be mad at your friend or your mama because they don't want to give you $50. I'm just saying. You ain't their responsibility. They're not obligated to do it. Respect boundaries. Move on. So number 5, people are never going to have a problem with telling you you're wrong. So, don't have a problem telling people they're wrong. Okay? So, people love to look at you and tell you, oh, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong or whatever it is. But it's difficult for people to take a mirror and look at themselves. But be that mirror. Tell your friends, your mama, whoever, that uncle with the limp, I don't know. Tell people they're wrong. When people hurt your feelings, tell them. Stop holding it in. Stop feeling like, oh, if I say something, they're not going to talk to me. So what? Who cares? Don't talk to me. I'm good. Don't be afraid to tell people they're wrong. Don't be afraid to say, you hurt my feelings. I know I'm not. And, I mean, it's a little bit vulnerable. But, I mean, we don't get nowhere unless we can be vulnerable with the people that are around us, especially our friends. So when people hurt your feelings, tell them. When people are wrong, tell them. If you feel like your friend screamed at you a little bit too loud, tell them. Tell them. You know I will. Anyways, we lack as a society, as a generation, millennial generation I'm talking about, by the way, is accountability. No one wants to take responsibility. Everybody wants to play victim. And that's a problem for me. If I'm talking to you about you, don't tell me about Sally Sue. Because we ain't talking about Sally Sue. We talking about you. And same thing, whether I'm at work or I'm at home and my mom is arguing with me about whatever. If someone is telling me about me, I'm not going to divert the attention onto someone else. I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. Hold yourself accountable when you're wrong. And do the same to other people because, listen, if you don't, people just keep repeating negative behavior, bad behavior, and guess what? I don't have to accept no one's bad behavior. Not even my children, okay? So if I'm not going to accept Dylan or Jacoby's bad behavior, I definitely ain't accepting yours. And guess what? God holds us accountable. Sorry, couldn't get that out. But anyways, Romans 14:12 says, so then each of us will give an account of himself to God. When you go to the pearly gates, however you picture that, God ain't gonna say, oh, well, scoot over there. Come be responsible for them. No, that ain't how that's about to work. I'm telling you, you will have better interpersonal relationships. You will have better romantic relationships, better friendships, more pure relationships if you hold yourself and others around you accountable. When you're right, when you're wrong, whatever. I spoke about mostly wrong, but even when people are right, tell them, like, hey, I like that you did this for me. I appreciate it. Let people know. You know what I'm saying? Hold them accountable for the good things that they do. You know what I'm saying? I like that you brought me flowers. You do it all the time, but I like it, so don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, hold people accountable, including yourself. So not just for bad behavior, but for good behavior too. And if you are practicing healthy habits and good behavioral traits, hold yourself accountable to those so that they become natural and that they become a part of your everyday life. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's the pieces of me today. Peace.